What are the 5 most common mistakes that people make in self-publishing? That's what we're going to talk about in this video. Hello, everyone. I'm Marc, Guberti, podcast coach, author, and the guy behind this YouTube channel. And in this video, we're going to talk about those 5 self-publishing mistakes that a lot of people make. And this happens to a lot of newbie authors. It's also something that people who have written books for a bit, these are some of the mistakes that they make also. So mistake number 1 right off the bat, and by the way, if you do enjoy this video, make sure you subscribe for more like this. But mistake number 1 is to rely on one book. When you are self-publishing books, it's different from having a traditional publisher where you're trying to market a signature book. A signature book is the one you're trying to make your entire brand identity. You're trying to hit all of these bestseller lists with that book. That's a signature book. But in self-publishing, the way that this game works is a lot of people don't do it for the idea of having a signature book, for the idea of hitting these big bestsellers. They do it more for let me make income from my books. So let's say you want to hit a goal, like let's say $1,000 a month. If you have one book, that book has to do $1,000 a month in royalties each month. But if you have 2 books, that goes down to $500 a month per book. If you have 10 books, it goes down to just $100 per month per book. And if you have 20 books, it goes down to $50 per month per book. Now, I know what you're thinking. How do I write that many books to get to 20 books or even more than that? And the answer is pretty much to just have a daily habit to write. Think about how long you want your books to be and really go all in on it. I actually did a video a little earlier. Actually, it came out last year, but towards the end. So for me, it feels earlier. I did a video, should be up here somewhere, of basically how I wrote 25 books while in middle school, high school, college, and being able to do it on that schedule. So if time is an issue for you, that video is going to help you with figuring out how do I find more time to write more books. But that is a mistake that a lot of self-published authors make, just only publishing one book or not publishing frequently enough. And for people wondering, well, how do I get sales if I'm publishing so many books? And how do I promote them? Well, you only really have to promote it one time when it comes out and then run Amazon ads so that it continues to get sales and just get enough reviews. So you can make your book free for a few days, get reviews that way. You can send copies to friends or business colleagues just to get some initial reviews. And then the Amazon ads really fuel the sales. With the self-publishing, we're not just going after a one-off, the book that does well on launch like spikes and then you don't see sales ever again. We're going more for promote the book to your audience, just this all-out thing one time, get enough reviews, and then Amazon ads in the background continuing to get you daily sales for your book. Big mistake number 2 is to not do enough keyword research going into your books. It would be really bad if you wrote a book only to realize that there is no demand for that topic or not as much demand as you thought there would be. And if you don't do keyword research, you're taking a shot in the dark and hoping it lands. So I use Publisher Rocket, and I will have a link down below this video for anyone who's interested. But I use Publisher Rocket to pretty much tell me what keywords are the best for me to use. So I type in something like blogging, for instance, and then it comes at me with a bunch of different keywords. And then I go deeper to figure out how competitive are these keywords, how much revenue do books in this area typically make that rank for this keyword, and how many people are even searching for this term. So Publisher Rocket gives you this really awesome data very quickly. And it is what I use for pretty much all of my keyword research. And it is something you should not skip when writing your book, because again, you don't want to write a book on something that has little demand, but you also don't want to skip it for when you do publish your book through KDP. They give you 7 keywords, and instead of thinking of which ones come up at the top of your head, look at Publisher Rocket or something like it to figure out what are the keywords people are actually searching for and which ones are the less competitive ones. So instead of putting in keywords that no one is really searching for and you just thought of them, or just getting lucky, there is no luck. It's skill when it comes to keyword research and figuring out what are the book topics that you write about and what are the words you include in your keywords, what are the words you include in the description of your sales page, of the page that Amazon gives you, what are those words in the description? Those are going to be the keywords that you find using something like Publisher Rocket. Big mistake number 3 is not including links in your book. Now, when you do have a paperback, this is just not going to be able to work. Like, people can't really click a link in a paperback because it's just not possible. But when it comes to the ebook edition, people think, I'll just save time with the writing process. Like, I won't include links because that's going to be my paperback, so I won't include links in the Kindle edition either. But when you include links in the Kindle edition, you could do a variety of things. I frequently link out to my other books so that people can easily click a link and they get led to a book. I've made affiliate sales through my books as well because I recommend resources, and then people click on those links and they buy the things that I recommend, and then I earn extra commission. So adding links in your books is a way to provide extra value, and it's definitely something that you want to be doing instead of making that big mistake of not including links that could lead people to affiliate offers, that could lead people to a way to grow your email list and other great places that can lead to more growth on your side, that can lead to additional value, lead to more revenue. When you include links in your books, there's just so much more potential for that book to help your business grow. And that leads us to big mistake number 4, which is to not think about the money you make from your book beyond the royalties. It's nice when someone buys your book and you make a sale, but there are authors who make hundreds of dollars from some of their people who buy their books. And it's not through the book royalties. The book royalties, I mean, we all know how it works on like KDP, where a lot of people, they price their ebooks at like $2.99. More people are pricing at $3.99 lately. I've done that for my books. I'm doing that moving forward because it gives you more margin for the Amazon ads. But we're really looking at anywhere from $2 to like just a little under $3 per sale. And while it's definitely better than nothing, it's not the full potential of the book, because I mentioned a little earlier, you could be promoting affiliate things. You could be promoting your own products. You can use the end of your book to introduce your services, have people schedule a strategy call, but you have to think that way when writing your book. What is the objective? What do you want readers to do after they have read their copy? Because what happens with a lot of people is they'll read a book, they're like, oh, this is good, and then they'll put it in their bookshelf, never to be seen again. And that is something you do not want to have happen. You do still have a presence on the bookshelf. You have a presence in that person's life. And if your content's good, they'll remember you. But what is the action you want your readers to take after reading your book or during your book? At the end of each chapter, have some type of content upgrade. For one of my books about blogging, which I'll be coming out with pretty soon, one of the things I do at the end of the chapter is I say, hey, do you want my blog post planner, the rubric I use to write my blog post? If so, go here and you can download it. And that's a way to turn my readers into email subscribers. A lot of people, they do the page 1 preview where it says, do you want this freebie? Enter your name and email, and I will give you this freebie. And that's something that you do on page 1 because the preview allows you to see that. So even if someone doesn't buy your book, they could go on your email list. But someone who doesn't take you on that freebie, but then goes through your book and really likes it, like the blog post planner that I mentioned, the rubric is very relevant to the book and it makes implementing so much easier. So it is relevant to the book. It's not like I'm doing a book on blogging. I'm saying, hey, download this like podcast or toolkit or something that has nothing to do with the blogging book. It's like a little far out there. And making a very relevant content upgrade can, at the end of each chapter, can get you more subscribers. I know that's more of a nonfiction book thing. Like I do a lot of nonfiction. I haven't even touched fiction yet, but you could even do like a content upgrade where you expand on the story or some behind the scenes. You got to be a little more creative for fiction, but you can apply the same core concepts. And finally, mistake number 5 a lot of self-published authors make is writing books that are too long. We feel like we have to write a 200-page book for it to actually count or feel like a book. But readers now want books they can read quicker. They want to be able to read them, at least in a nonfiction scenario. They want to be able to read them in one sitting. So one of my books I wrote a while back, Content Marketing Secrets. This is my last book. As you can see, this is definitely like close to 300 pages. Last book that I write, be over in the neighborhood of 300 pages. What I do now is I write books like The Wealthy Author, which have under 100 pages in them. The reason this is great is because, again, the reader can read it in one sitting. If you are at a book signing and someone has to fly back to where they want to go and they have limited space in their suitcase, a smaller book is easier to fit in the suitcase. It's easier for someone to carry around. And again, someone can read it in one sitting, which makes them more likely to take different actions you want them to take in the book, like maybe buy the thing you recommend as an affiliate, subscribe to your email list, and so on. You could even use the content upgrades I mentioned earlier as a way to expand on the book. So instead of writing a 300-page book, write like a 100-page book and have maybe like 10 pages worth of content as content upgrade, or even just 5 pages where it's just a few worksheets. I mean, you don't really have to do too much with content upgrades as long as it's super targeted and provides people with value. So another part of being able to, writing books that are only 80 to 100 pages is now, instead of talking about content marketing secrets, it's like a 64,000 word book, but all the books I put out now are anywhere from 16 to 20,000 words. So content marketing secrets, the 64,000 words, instead of being one book, that's now like 3 to 4 books for me, which allows me to publish more books, which allows me to hit on more niches, broaden a little bit, but not go like too broad. Like I'm still in the marketing, I'm still in the business, I'm still in the finance, like those general areas. But it does allow me to crank out more books, which increases the likelihood of someone going through and being a customer who buys multiple copies of my book. So the shorter you make your books, just 80 to 100 pages, it's fine. It's not like you need to have 200 pages for it to really feel like a book. But the shorter books are easier to write. They're easier for people to buy because they'll be cheaper. At least you can make them cheaper. And, you still get a good return on the paperback versus making content marketing secrets $9.99. That's not even possible given the expenses that go into that book. So it really just boils down to being able to write more books, being able to do some initial promotion for them. And you have the Amazon ads take over the rest of the way, and really thinking, what are you trying to do with your book? You can go beyond book royalties here. And that's where a lot of authors make their 6 figures. Very few authors make their 6 figures from the book royalties. When you hear about a 6-figure author, it's, I have this book, I have a few books, and these are the speaking topics that I do based around these books. So it'll be like for content marketing secrets, like one of the things I talk about is content marketing secrets. One of the things I talk about is how do you launch, grow, monetize a podcast. So that's where we have podcast domination. So the books become your speaking topics. The books could become the foundation for training courses, and you could cross promote your books within your books. So at the end of my books, I always have links, which goes to that mistake a few people make with the Kindle, not including those links. I link to my other books, and I pretty much say, if you enjoyed this book, here are some of the other books I've written in case you're interested in buying more of my books. So self-publishing it's a really incredible opportunity. It's been really incredible. It still is really incredible. It's just a matter of how much you're going to grind, avoiding these mistakes, and learning along the way so you grow your self-publishing business. And that is what I talk about on this channel. So if you enjoyed this video, there's more like it. We also talk about business and investing strategies. So make sure you subscribe if you're interested. So anyway, signing off, dream big, achieve greatness, and unlock your potential today.